It is another episode of NRG Insights. So at the moment we're doing the NRG Insights Rising Stars podcast, which is about young people in the industry, how they got in, any kind of advice they can give, because us dinosaurs are always moaning. I'm speaking to leaders all the time. We're always moaning about getting the next generation in, but we do very little listening to them. So this is a chance for some people to come on, some people who are already making their mark in the industry, and get their get their point across and talk about the challenges, etc. Of joining the industry. So today I have Calypso Cox from Stamford Finance joining me. Thank you, Calypso.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So for those that don't know you, tell us about your journey. It's actually an interesting journey, isn't it? Because it's not your average route. So I'll let you talk about it, but tell me your journey into financial services.
Yeah, well, I kind of tripped and fell into it, like most people in the industry. I'm kind of yet to meet someone who's gone, oh, yeah, I've just always wanted to be in bridging ever since I
Let me
was
tell
like,
you, Sandeep Patel is the only person in the world that
really?
just wanted to be in financial services because you didn't have to work weekends.
I'm gonna have to meet him.
You have
That
to meet the guy, only
that's
person.
crazy. Yeah, only person. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I did English lit and art history at uni. So I like very much don't really know how I ended up here. But I was actually working at the FP show, doing the gin stand for Century, and I think I just got the right people drunk at about 10:30 in the morning, um, and by the end of the day, they've been like, "Oh, you're looking for a marketing internship. We need an intern. Do you want to maybe join?" And I was like, you know what? I'm 6 months out of uni, haven't got a job. I was like, yeah, hell yeah,
Better than
let's
Southern
let's do
Gin.
it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hey, the Southern Gym was pretty fun. I met some nice people that
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, missed window of opportunity, I think. But yeah, so I started as an intern there a few months later, and then here we are. I was yeah doing marketing from the beginning, and then they kind of realized I could yap a little bit, put me into relationship
A
management.
little bit more.
Yeah, which was really nice actually. That was the best gig I think because I just there's no pressure, no expectations, just drinks, which was fun. And then yeah, I kind of asked if I could go into BD a little bit more. So I've got a nice mix of both really, which I'm really enjoying.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah.
Lovely. And then obviously after the century, moved into Stanford, which is
Mhm.
much more of a BD relationshipy type
Yeah.
role than the marketing, right?
Yeah, well, it's probably pretty 50-50 because it's quite a small team. So Pete
Yeah.
and I do the BD side together, and then I basically run all the marketing, which is fun. It's been a bit of a step up, but yeah, I quite like, being in charge of things. It's worked out pretty well for me, actually. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
good.
it's been really good.
Okay, so what I mean, do you know, I actually spoke about you before I met you, and someone was saying to me like, "Oh, we've got this girl a great girl in marketing, probably a bit wasted where she is." And I was saying like, "Oh, about not staying in the industry," and I was actually saying to them, maybe it's not the industry. I think it's the role, because obviously, and especially after having met you, like moving into that business development, relationship management type of thing is an obvious step for you, right? People, brokers get on with you. But what do you say, like, for people trying to move into that side of the
Mhm.
market? What are the things they have to think about? What the I mean, obviously, no good recruiter, but
Yeah,
what
it's
what
not.
what are the things that people have to think about when you're moving into that kind of that BD role and working with brokers, etc. every day?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really fun sector to be in, and I really enjoy it. But it's it's weirdly quite tiring.
Mhm.
You've got, hours and hours of meetings on end and you sort of always have to be on all the time and most of us have quite intense targets to hit and there is a little bit of pressure to get deals over the line. So that's definitely something to think about. But I mean it's such a people business and it's a really fun side to bridging development. So I'm very happy with it. I think you have to be a people oriented person really
Yeah.
and you have to
It's
be
interesting you
really
say
in.
about the energy thing.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Mm.
jump in.
No, no, no,
Just
go for
because
it.
I don't think people take that into consideration. You
Mm.
assume, like, especially being like relatively extroverted, that your battery gets built by speaking to more and more
Yeah,
people. But
yeah,
if you've not done BD, like, it is exhausting. And I do say the same thing to everyone. Like, every person you meet that day is only going to see you for what, 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You have to be on the ball every time, top energy. Like, it sounds. It also sounds ungrateful for getting to do what we get to do, but it's tiring, right? Like it is. It
it
does
is a
take it
little
out of
bit.
you.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, I think there are quite a lot of occasions where I'm sort of in the lead up towards a meeting or a full afternoon of, ooh, knocking everything over, a full afternoon of meetings, and I am just feeling a bit knackered.
Yeah.
But luckily, I'm one of those people that kind of gets a bit more energized as soon as I've stepped into a social situation. Thank God.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be good at my job, really.
We were talking about this earlier, weren't we, offline, about the tube
Yeah.
strikes, etc. Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
exhaustingness of BD, but how tiring it is being on your own.
Oh
When
God,
you're not used
awful.
to
Oh,
taking
it's horrible. I hate it. Yeah. Yeah. So it works really well for me. But yeah, it can just get a bit knackering. And the drinking is,
that. I was going to say, actually,
oh my
BD is
God,
not completely different to what you were doing on the
not for
gin
the
stand.
week.
Just
Yeah,
getting people drunk at the right time. Um,
exactly. Yeah. It's 90% of my business plan.
yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, I do know because you're a lot younger than me, but as you know, I don't drink when I'm BDing. But I don't think it's like just talk about that. But it's just exhausting even not drinking. Like
It's not good for
but
my
having to get
liver.
up again at like 6:30 the next morning. I
Yeah,
think
see, I don't
everyone is
do
like
that.
on the screen.
That's where we differ. I don't do the 6 and wake up.
You do not get up then.
No.
Oh, you don't. I was going to say like you wake up bright and breezy, like no hangovers, but no, you're
Yeah.
still a sufferer.
Sadly, despite the
I
age.
will add that you don't have to get smashed as a BDM. Some people would
Yeah,
like
I actually
add
try
the
not
choice, but
to
at the
as
same
well.
time, there is a lot like our industry has evolved around meet. I mean, we meet in pubs and hotels and events, don't we? That's just the nature of the business.
Yeah, yeah,
Joys.
you do.
So talk about the marketing side of things then. So obviously, when you're doing your marketing, or you look at your marketing intern and stuff, but no one thinks that financial services is a particularly fun or sexy marketing
Yeah.
industry. What were your initial thoughts on it? How do you feel about it now? Like what's the important kind of takes on it?
I think I was actually thinking about this the other day because I was trying to like define our marketing strategy for the year.
Yeah.
And I was having a look at through some of our sort of like competitors' products and stuff like that, as you do. And I think that there's people tend to kind of like overcomplicate it a little bit. There's so many different products out there that are so like hyper specific. I actually wonder how many of them apply to like a standard broker's deal sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like you just there's lenders with 14 different product sets and the rates change every 15 minutes and I wonder how many brokers actually stay on top of their sort of like lending panels
yeah,
movement.
yeah.
So
Especially from the marketing, right? You just
yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah. And I think the best approach at the moment that works pretty well for us is just to keep it as simple as possible. We've got three products. The rates don't really change unless they go down. So,
and they're good, and you
and
can
they're
do them.
good. Yeah. Well, I like to think so, but but yeah, yeah. No, it's good marketing. It's interesting. It's more technical probably than creative, I think.
Yeah.
But it helped with the BD side when I first started out because I kind of
You
like,
know, that was my
yeah,
next question. The fact that you came from marketing
you kill
helped
it.
you
Yeah.
with the kind of relationship management stuff that you moved into.
Yeah, I think so. It helped that I knew our products inside and out really from doing all the marketing from them. It helped that I have sort of like when doing events and stuff like that, I was in charge of the guest list. So quite often I've already emailed all of these people. So it
Yeah.
just helps get your name out there a little bit more.
Yeah, you kind of broke down that initial trust barrier,
Yeah,
didn't you?
exactly. It's
Go
not so
out
much
there,
like a
yeah.
cold email sort of thing because it's
Yeah.
they've heard my name or they've been to an event that we've hosted sort of thing. So it was pretty helpful in that aspect actually as well. And it's nice doing both as well. I feel like I don't it's not as tired like what we were saying earlier. It's not as tiring because I do sort of like that 50-50 split.
Yeah, yeah, you spit it out, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So let's discuss the challenges, if you like. What would you say are the bigger challenges as a young person? I'm particularly a young woman. I hate to go into the gender thing, but it does
Yep.
make a difference,
Thank you
right?
for noticing.
Um, yeah. But it's really awkward for me having this because I'm a white middle-aged man, so
It's tough
for
out
me
here
to
for
go,
you. Yeah.
it's a tough gig.
It's
Actually,
such-
it is, but I'm not going to go into it.
I
But
don't know. Oh god.
what are the challenges you found when it comes to like building that broker network and being taken seriously in the industry? You know, it's an important part of that kind of building your kind of your personal brand up as well. How have you felt, or how's it gone?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely noticeable when I first started out because I was 22 when I joined the industry and when we first started it felt like there were just no young people around. Everyone was sort of at least 10 years older than me. And then now actually having met like Kaylan, he's doing the whole young people bridging thing, like that has completely changed the industry for me really, which has been
Yeah.
really nice. But being a
Well, I don't
girl,
think they
yeah,
were just not hidden away. It's just that like the
I don't
people
even
that
know
don't
where
tend to
everyone
be
was.
probably aren't
They didn't
prevalent
exist.
in like they're not prevalent in marketing or stuff.
Yeah.
It's just but like you said, the young people bridging thing's been a revelation, hasn't it, for you guys to actually mix with people that have the same problems, etc., rather than
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
old boys in the pub.
Yeah, no, it's been really nice actually. I don't know where everyone was, but suddenly there's this whole new network of like
Hmm.
50 to 100 people who I probably would have never met otherwise. But I've met some really good broker relationships through through you guys. So yeah, it's been a smash hit on my end, really.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly think it's what's needed,
Mm,
because, like you say, it's not a massive amount of young people coming through. It's not,
yeah.
it's not a huge pool of people, but it's very easy to not know anyone else in your
Mm,
industry same age as you, because you're networking in different circles, etc. So
yeah.
to have that solely, Kaylin has very kindly asked me to go before, and I'm saying I'm slightly over the age gap, and I said stop letting
Mm.
old people invade it as well. Like keep it for you. This is really
Oh,
important.
it's
And
nice
also,
to
like,
have our middle-aged mascots floating around, you know? You give us a bit of
middle-aged
gravitas,
mascots, I will tell
you
people.
know? Yeah.
But I think it is really important, because it is, like, as cheesy as it sounds, these are the decision makers of the future,
Yeah.
and getting to know each other now is huge
We're
later
all
on when
just
you
long
need to
gaming
kind of,
it, really.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, we haven't got the same problems, we haven't got the same challenges. You know, so to actually be able to refer to your peers who are of a similar age to you, to go like, look,
Mm.
this is a bit shit for me, or this, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
And I think it's a massive step for the industry.
100%. Because especially in the beginning, when I first started out, everyone on my team, they were unbelievably lovely, but they were all sort of like had 10
Old.
years plus in the industry. Not old, not
I'm
old,
joking.
just more experienced. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, wise.
Yeah, wise. Yeah, yeah, older and wiser. And I think I spent quite a lot of it trying to compete with that level of experience and knowledge. And I was just, I mean, I had only been doing it for 2 months at that point, and I just felt like there was quite a big knowledge gap. And then you meet
Yeah.
everyone else and you actually realize that, you need to give yourself a bit of grace and time to like
Yeah.
actually get to that point because it's annoyingly, it doesn't happen in the space of a few.
No, no. And there is nothing that you can't get
Yeah,
experience quicker than
yeah,
being
exactly. You can't
experienced. And,
fake it, can you?
you're
Yeah.
always. I have this conversation with Callie in the office as well, when she says
Mm,
about, like, I'm very lucky that I get some things seem relatively easy, but I'm like, that is literally timing the game, and you can't fake that. That's just
yeah.
something that
Can't
happens over
force it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you can add all the extra attributes whilst you're young. You can do
Yeah.
that kind of the hard work side of things, making sure you're involved with everything. But
Yeah.
um, let's talk about that, actually, about the kind of the character. I always get this word wrong, and I use it every week, which is frustrating.
Okay.
I'm going to say character traits, which I've just nailed by doing it slowly.
You
I'll
did
speed
nail
that
it.
up in the edit. But what kind of traits do you need? Do you think, like, to be successful in this game, especially on the sales side?
Hmm.
What do you think that's important?
I think being personable is a very good trait to have. Obviously, I mean, you're dealing with people all the time, every day. You're dealing with your brokers, your borrowers, your solicitors, your valuers. And I think it's a lot easier to deal with people, especially when any obstacles come up or anything like that, if you're just nice to them. Like it's all it really takes. I mean, we like to think that we have really good relationships with our valuers and our solicitors and our brokers, and it just means that push comes to shove, if we need a favor, all you've got to do is ask, which I think really really helps. So
Oh, definitely.
definitely,
Just being nice just adds a few more brownie points
goes
on the
so
system.
far, doesn't it? Yeah, you
Yeah, yeah.
don't have to be an arsehole to people. Just yeah, it
Do you know
just
what? I genuinely have this conversation with people all the time when people say, like, this sounds egotistical. When they're
mm,
saying, oh, that we're good at what we do, I'm like, honestly, it's such a low bar. Just don't be a dick to anyone, and just tell the truth.
yeah,
There's not, like,
magical stuff, isn't it?
there's not this magic potion to
Groundbreaking. Yeah,
doing it right. Yeah, and it's
yeah,
groundbreaking. Yeah, be a dick. Like,
yeah, crazy.
but you'll be surprised. It does. It actually goes a long way.
Yeah,
It's,
and
it's,
it's such
it's
a
so
small
easy to
industry.
say.
I mean,
But,
like, word travels pretty fast as well.
mm,
So, yeah, just
yeah,
also.
be good. Don't be a dick. Could be the good
Yeah,
title
yeah.
for this.
Yeah, be organized,
Right,
I'd
I
say
like
as
to make something
well.
more professional.
Yeah, you've got a lot of moving parts to keep track of, like
Mm.
90% of the time. So organized, I love a to-do list, I
Yeah.
can't escape them. I've got like five going at the same time. Yeah, yeah.
But to do this is so important. You get to the end of the day without one and go, what have
Mm.
I achieved?
And what have I actually done?
What I like to do is I like to fake a to-do list, and when I've done something, I write it down and tick it off.
Love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hang up your washing. Very good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So talk about the kind of the leadership side of things now.
Mm.
Obviously, you work with Peter now, who I honestly hold in such high regard when it comes to, like, just being a good person.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any people that can kind of say otherwise. Again, it puts you in good stead. But how important is it for you, obviously, to have that young people and bridging type thing where
Mm.
you've got your network, but leadership style or leadership wise, how important
Good
is it to
mentors.
think
Yeah.
about the person that you work for as opposed to just the role.
Yeah, I mean, it was very important to me when I'd sort of left Century. It was kind of one of my main priorities to work with some really amazing people, and I'd met Pete at an event actually, one of Project's ones, and we kind of just hit it off immediately. I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, I don't know who the hell Stamford Finance are, but he's a lovely bloke, and he genuinely is really, really great." And I mean, I'd only been doing BD for a few months by the time I joined, but he was so patient with me. He's been on the end of every question that I've had. He's very well liked in the industry, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been great. I mean, I'm been very lucky to work with some really great people who have just been on the end of every question. They've been so helpful. Like they put up with my incessant like, I don't know what this means, guys, help, constantly. So yeah, I've been very lucky and very
Yeah.
grateful to
I
have.
also think that's kudos to them as well for hiring on character as well, right?
Yeah,
Like meeting you
definitely.
at a do and just thinking you could really do this job. I think
Mm,
it's so important because there's so many people who are looking for the BDM, like the easy win. You
yeah.
know, they got their 10-year black book. They've got this.
Mhm.
It doesn't always pan out, especially as characters don't always mix with different cultures. But
Yeah.
I think what Peter's done with you and lots of people are starting to. It's a slow burn, this character rather than experience thing.
Mm,
We have been banging the drum for years, but it is slowly starting to realize, or the realization on people that there's a massive skills gap in the middle of the market because those guys that have got 10 years and
yeah.
no one was looking in the middle. So you guys coming through are essential to the growth of the industry because otherwise, if we didn't do it, there's literally no one. The average
Everything
age of
else.
BD
Yeah.
would be 60 instead of 55. We're slowly coming down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, talk to me about what, again, I know I kind of covered this question again before, but if there people are joining the industry and they want to kind of, especially work with the networking side of things, what do they have
Mhm.
to think about? I know, like it's hard work, like we could talk about hard work all day long, right? Because it is hard.
Yeah.
But what do they have to think about when they're trying to grow their network? Because you started from scratch, didn't you, from marketing into building a network?
Pretty
What's
much.
the
Yeah.
what's the important parts of that?
I think one of the most important things is just to say yes to everything and be as visible as you can. I think
Yeah,
the majority of people that I've met have been through like industry events and things like that, and just having other people make intros for me. So I think that is probably one of the key things. Go to everything, say hi to everyone, follow up with them the next day. You know, when you do the little cheeky LinkedIn ad,
yeah,
just be
it's
like, hey,
follow-ups. Yeah,
yeah, so
you
nice
know
to
what,
meet
that is
you.
actually
Bit
really
more
important. The
events, but
follow-ups.
yeah, definitely.
I think people would like it's not we're not just going out to parties every night. Like you have
Yeah.
to have a list of people that are relevant and carry on
Mm,
the next
mhm.
day, right? It's not
Yeah,
just
exactly. Yeah.
not just a show and face. I honestly think I get. Do you know what I got? As a placement yesterday that came from going to an event that I really couldn't be asked to go to, and I forced myself to go because I was
Mhm.
like, no, you've got a long day, just go to it. It was actually a really good event in the end. And then I placed the guy yesterday, and I thought
There you go.
you can actually see a monetary value to just turning up. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's turning up. You're like you've got another hour of energy to give. Just
yeah.
go give that a little bit
It's
more.
always the ones
And
you
it
least
does make
expect
massive
as
difference. I
well.
never would have met that guy.
Yeah.
So in regards to the again, we'll drop onto the marketing side again
Mm,
because I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. As a young person, obviously, your marketing's got to resonate with people that aren't the same
mm.
kind of age range as you as well. Is that something that you've had
Demographics,
to
yeah.
really think about? Like, I think this is good, but then do you have to look at it and go, is that relevant to my market? Do you know,
Mm.
or is the marketing starting to change? Have you seen even over the last couple of years, just in regards to like who we're aiming at and what we're doing with it?
Yeah, it's definitely it's something that you always have to think about because the demographic that we're targeting is sort of like middle-aged men. Obviously, that's not me. Last time I checked, at least, it's not
No,
me.
no, no. That's just
Um,
that's 80% into. It used to be
yeah,
90. You know, still
exactly.
making
And
strides.
we're making waves here. Um, yeah, it's definitely something you've got to think about. I think at the beginning, it's a really fine balance between getting personality in there and being stale and stuffy and sort of too oversharey. Because, I mean, there's people like Colin who've done amazing things with this whole, surveying with personality thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he's really switched things up for marketing, which has been really, really great to see, actually. So we just try and get the balance right between sort of like a bit of the people aspect and behind the scenes what we're doing, what we've been doing, sort of thing, and then
Yeah.
also keeping it like educational and a bit light and not too sort of formal and stuffy. But
Do you
it's
know, it's really hard, isn't it? Because you need
yeah,
people to understand what you do. Like
exactly.
you say, like Colin stuff resonate gets really far, but also don't think everyone can do that as well. it's got to be kind of
That kind
natural
of
to your
person.
business as well, you know.
Mhm.
Colin's the same online as he is offline, and it's
Yeah,
relatively
exactly.
easy.
Yeah,
So if you kind of try to copy something like that, and
it
it's a
feels
tough gig.
forced
And
and a bit
also,
not genuine. Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. So I mean, is the genuine side, like the authenticity thing, something you have to think about in marketing as well when you're like,
Yeah, I
is
think
this
so.
us? Is this actually us?
We do want to keep it as sort of like authentic. A whole big part of our brand is that we are sort of like, you know, one of the people. Like we want to be
Yeah,
personable, we want to be easy to deal with, we want to keep the process simple, and that's got to come through with our marketing as well. Because otherwise, how would people know if they haven't used us before unless they've met us? So that's definitely been a really big part of what I've been trying to do. Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's been interesting, just
nice.
trying to keep it light and not stale.
Yeah. Again, I think it's tough because you've got like we haven't got the most interesting product in the world. You've got
Yeah,
to keep
it's
it
not
interesting,
sexy,
and
like you
it's
said.
got to
It's not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you've also got to keep it uh, relevant and resonant.
Mm,
I love case studies, and I know some people take the piss out of
mm.
it, but just nothing resonates with you more when you've got a problem and someone else goes, "Oh, this is how I fixed that problem."
Yeah, yeah, I love a case study. I mean, every time we complete something, really, I'm like, let's push this out. Let's, highlight what we did well. And also, if there were challenges, I think just be transparent about it.
Yeah,
There are a lot I see floating around where it's like, this deal was perfect.
nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. All went through in 6 weeks and it was, easy breezy. I'm like, chances are that's not what happened
Yeah,
at
it
all.
didn't happen.
But yeah, so we just try and
You know,
keep it
I saw
natural.
someone on LinkedIn the other day say, sorry, I took you over the time again, but I saw someone on LinkedIn the other day saying about it, saying, why do brokers give case studies? Like, why are we like dick swinging online? I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
why
the
would you
whole,
not?
that's what marketing is.
Yeah,
Marketing is dick swinging. That's the
yeah.
whole point. Say, look what I can do.
You're
Do you
showing
need
up.
me?
Mm.
But
You
because
just
no one
hit
else
the
is
nail
going
on
to
the
do it
head.
for you.
That's
Like,
exactly what it is. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I might change that phrase, but I will. Yeah.
I think keep the phrase. Yeah, it's authentic, Marcus. It's very keep that
But it's
personal
funny,
tone.
like why it's like asking why we would market ourselves because
Yeah,
what is the point of being the best kept secret in the industry? Like, wow, I've done
exactly,
some amazing
exactly.
deals, but I can't tell you about them.
Yeah, yeah. It's not what we want.
Well,
Yeah,
do you know what? Actually, as recruiters, we're the only people that aren't allowed to do case studies because obviously the nature of our
weird, but
business.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
annoying. I'm like, oh, I've done really good for that
God,
person,
I've
but
done
can't
some
tell
really
anyone.
great work. Can't tell anyone about it for 3 months while they're on gardening leave.
You know, I just have to nod at people going, yeah,
Yeah,
whoever did that was
but I
fantastic.
definitely
Yeah.
don't know where they're ending up. Whoa.
Right. So, last question for
Mm,
I've taken you over. There's not at the time that I said I would, but last bit of advice. One thing you can give to someone your age, coming out of uni, wanting to go into falling into financial services, who's going to
mm.
want to. What's the one thing that you can give someone advice on that is going to come put them in good stead for the future?
I think just be open to as many things that you can, take as many opportunities that come up, go to the events, meet the people, ask the questions, and just don't be afraid to sort of like take up a bit of space. If you don't know something, ask. If there are so many people who I meet who are sort of like kind of scared to ask a question because you don't want to come across like you don't that you don't have enough knowledge or
Yeah,
things like that. But no one, you got to remember, everyone's been in our exact same position, and they didn't all get to where they are without asking.
yeah. I
So
think people will be surprised as well how helpful people are, how much
yeah,
people want
people
to
have
help
been
you as
so
well.
lovely. Like I genuinely can't stress enough that the right people will help you through, and yeah, it's been really helpful for me at least. So can't stress it enough,
Amazing.
really.
Good. Lovely way to end it. So, if anyone wants to get hold of you, Calypso, whether
Mm,
it's for Stanford and wants to talk about what you're offering, or just generally some advice on getting into the industry, that kind of
yeah,
thing, what is the best way to get hold of you? Obviously, all your socials will be on ours, etc. If you
yeah,
sent them.
girl. Probably by email as well. I
Yeah.
can plug it now if you want.
No, I'll get them
Most
all on
people
there.
won't be able to spell
And
my
please don't
name.
put your
So,
phone number on there either, because it goes out to Spotify. A lot of
yeah.
weirdos on there.
Oh, yeah, a lot
But
of weirdos on that. No, thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we will get all your socials and our socials. And
Yeah.
thank you very much. I appreciate your
Yeah,
time today.
thank you. It's been really fun.
Really enjoyed it. And thank you everyone listening and watching. It's another episode of NRG Insights. But again, Calypso, thank you for your time. Cheers.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.